Hey guys, welcome. Now, thank you for joining us for demonstration number 1. Now remember, there's a lot going on in Insight, and what we want to do is we want to go and break this down step by step. So the first thing that we're going to focus on is logging into Insight for the very first time and what we call the overview page. So let's get right to it and jump in. First thing we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and sign on. Let's go ahead and sign in. Let's go ahead and explain to you what this is. Now, this is what we call our overview page. And one thing I want you guys to know and understand that everything in Insight is real time. There's no reports to pull ever. Everything is going to be displayed to you as it's happening in real time, and it's very important for you to know and understand that. So the first thing that we're going to go ahead and dive into is what we call the overview page. Now within this page, these are all your real-time numbers as it's happening, again, in real time. So the first thing I want to point your attention to is what we call cards. So within Insight, every time that you see one of these little boxes that's displaying information, first and foremost, they're all clickable. So if you ever need to get more information on any one of those things, those items, just simply click on it and you can get more information based on whatever that card is. So we just clicked on the repossession card. And again, remember, this is a Rapid Recovery Agency's account. This is my business in the repo side, and this is how it's all displayed. So today it's January 30th of 2023, and what it's displaying to me, what it's showing me is all the repossessions that Rapid Recovery has done from January 1st to January 30th. So when we clicked on repossessions, it breaks it down by your voluntary account, by your involuntaries, how many impounds you did, and then it gives you a client leaderboard from greatest to least on how many repossessions that you were able to do for each one of your clients. One thing I want to point your attention to is that every single card within Insight is going to go ahead and calculate that same number from the same time period the year before. And all that really means is that today is January 30th of 2023. And as you can see, it's gonna go ahead and display my total repossessions. But for that same time period in 2022, from January 1st to January 30th, you can see that we had 996 repossessions for that same time period. And so what Insight does, it calculates whatever up or down percentage that is over the same course of time from the previous year, so you could easily identify if you're going up or if you're going down and what percentage that is. So as you can see, Rapid Recovery is doing very well over the course of the same time period of last year. We're up 23.5% in our repossession volume, which is spectacular. Our assignments, the same thing. What you're showing here is the amount of assignments that you have, and then over the same course of time from 2022, we're up 18%. And then follow that same logic through everything else, right? Your recovery rate and something else that we called missed repossessions, which is totally unique to this industry, which I'll explain in a second. Now, again, remember, anytime that you see one of these boxes, what we call cards, again, you can click on them and it'll go ahead and give you the information based on what you click on. Another thing that I want to point your direction to, or your attention to, not your direction, is that every single time that you click on something, you have the ability to click on it additionally, right? So if I want to say, hey, out of these 814 assignments that we received from Westlake Services, if I click on that, it's going to go ahead and break down all 814 of those. Now, if you're logged into RDN, all you have to do is simply click on the VIN and it'll take you right to that case in RDN, okay? Now, going back, the next thing I want to go ahead and bring your attention to is the leaderboard. And this is very, 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 very exciting because you need to understand that for the first time in this industry's history, we're able to not only get up-to-date and real-time numbers for your recovery agents, but you're now able to get real-time data for your spotters and also your camera car drivers. We're very excited to introduce not only a spotted feature that allows you, again, for the first time in this industry's history, to be able to accurately track the performance of your spotters, but also we have a direct integration into DRN. And as you can see, we're going through a fleet change right now, so a lot of our kits are down, and this isn't a good time to make this video to show you an example, but what we do within our integration with DRN is that we are finally able to put a kit to an actual person. So there's no more sharing kit numbers. Every single time you have a driver that jumps into a camera car, they're not sharing the same user ID and password anymore. They all will have their own unique IDs and passwords, and everything they record within their shift will automatically populate within Insightt. And one thing that we're extremely excited about is that we only display unique data in terms of their scan counts. So anytime that there's a duplication, if you have a driver that got 15,000 scans in a day, that which 13,500 of them are duplicates, all that has been eliminated. So the only thing that Insightt records is unique scan data, which is very exciting and very important for you to understand. The next thing that I want to go ahead and bring your attention to, which I probably should have said this in the first place, is that if you have multiple locations within your company, once you set up your company within Insightt, you have the ability to add what we call branches, Insightt branches, not RDN branches. And all that really means is that when you go to, if you have more than one location, and as you know, I'm sure, sometimes within your RDN branches, you have more than one RDN branch for the same location. And what we've been able to do is, as you're setting up your company with an Insightt, you basically drop all the relevant branches into an Insightt branch, and then in return, calculate all the data for all those branches that we call an Insightt branch. So it's basically dumping all the same information and putting it into one. And what we've been able to do by that is be able to break down your data by every single one of your locations. So as you can see, again, Rapid Recovery has 5 locations throughout the state. And then from a click of a button, I'm able to easily toggle all my data just by clicking a button. No more multi-searches, no more spending countless hours, days, weeks, months trying to figure out what your real-time information, what your real-time data is. That alone allows you to finally be able to identify where you're problematic like that. The reason why we want that and why that's so important for you is because now you have the ability to make important decisions based on where you're failing. So don't wait for a scorecard to come out. Don't wait for a client to get in contact with you to let you know how good or how bad you're doing. You should be able to see this information very easily, and Insightt did just that. So as long as you want to go ahead and see all your data broken down by each location, click of a button, and it's that simple. Next thing I'm going to go ahead and bring your attention to within these leaderboards is that not only do you have the ability to toggle your branch, right, for this leaderboard or all these leaderboards, but also each leaderboard has 3 different categories, right? For your recovery agents, you have your total repossessions, and then you could easily click on involuntary, and it's going to toggle that data between your total, your invols, and your vols. Okay. Now, every single time you do that, or if you want more information on the individual agent, simply click on their name. And what it's going to do, it's going to go ahead and break down all the repossessions that agent did. And again, from greatest to least by the client assignment count, or the client repossession count, should I say. And again, if you need that information, all you have to basically do is click on a client, and then we'll go ahead and give you that data, the spotted date, the repossession date, the address in which it was repossessed at, and then you click on that VIN and it'll take you right to that case within RDN, okay? Another really cool feature that we've developed. Next, your spotters, okay? Very, very, very excited to be able to introduce this. Never have we been able to track performance on spotters. They're very, very crucial to all of our business. Why has this never been done? I have no idea, but we've been able to go ahead and get this done for you. And now, again, for the very first time, your spotters are all gonna see their own performance every single time they log into Insightt. One of the very cool and unique things about Insightt and this very specific feature on this leaderboard is that every single time that your users, your drivers, they log on to Insightt, the first thing they see when they log on are their leaderboards. And so this overview data, depending on what branch that your users are in, what they'll always be able to see is where they stand amongst their colleagues, amongst their peers. Now, this feature alone, guaranteed, will go ahead and boost the productivity in the field. Why? It's because human nature, we're all competitive, especially your agents, especially your drivers. When they see each other, look how close this is between the spotters. 83, 82, 68, 64. I mean, it gets very, very competitive towards the end of the month. And for Rapid Recovery, what we did is we went ahead and incentivized it, and we offer bonuses to the people that are at the top with these gold stars, right? Anyone with the gold medal at the end of the month, they're gonna receive a bonus, just something that Rapid Recovery does, just throwing ideas out. But I promise you, when they know about this and they actually see it for themselves, they're gonna get competitive because they're always gonna wanna be at the top and not towards the bottom. So another very cool part of this leaderboard for spotters specifically is that not only are you able to see all the vehicles that were spotted by every single one of your spotters, but you also are able to toggle this data between total spotted, secured, and closed. And what this means is that out of all the total spotted vehicles that person did, whichever ones that resulted in a repossession that ended up being secured will be displayed here. So as you can see that this person, Giovanni, he has 83 spotted vehicles for the month. Of those 83 spotted, 65 of them resulted in a repossession, okay? Now, and then you also have closed. So all those spotted vehicles that ended up closing out before you had the opportunity to go and pick them up, that's where this lies. And if the calculation is ever wrong or it doesn't make sense, just know that sometimes that you still have open assignments, and that's the reason why that have yet to result in a repossession that have been spotted that might throw off these numbers a little bit, and that's what this is here. And that's the spotter section. Now when we jump it over to the camera section, the camera car drivers, you have the ability to see that scan data for every single one of your drivers. Again, unique scans only. The second thing that I'm very excited to point out and show you is that we now have the capability of seeing all the live hits that your drivers do. Very excited about that. Again, doesn't exist right now in the industry. We're the first ones to have it. Big shout out to DRN for being able to allow us to display this and give this to you guys. But now you're finally able to see all the live hits that all your camera car drivers get while they're in the field. Now, when you go ahead and you click on this, it's gonna go ahead and break it down for each one of your clients. You click on that and it's gonna let you know, broken down by the scan date, the status, if it resulted in a closed account or if it's been repossessed. And then you have the ability to toggle this between all your live hits and then broken down by LPR hits, which comes out from the DRN hot list, or a direct hit that's obviously an account that's already been assigned to you in RDN. And we'll go ahead and you can toggle that data. The next thing we want to go and show you between this leaderboard for the camera car drivers is not only do we have the live hits and the scans, but we're also going to display that of those live hits, how many resulted within a repossession, how many of those got secured, and we'll go ahead and display that data for you too. Now, this is just one page of Insightt. This is a big page, but it's just one page. There's still a ton of things to go over. And again, this is just an introduction. There's still more features that I could spend the next 30 minutes on of trying to explain and show you, but for the sake of this video and trying to keep it as small as we possibly can, this is just a quick snapshot of what all the possibilities are with this. One last thing that I'm gonna show you before we end this video here for overview is that we are gonna record all this data for every single one of your months. So if you ever needed to go back to a previous month, again, it's a click of a button and all that data will come to life, okay? So very important to know, very important to understand. So this is just one page. This is a big page, but again, there's still a ton to go over. So we hope that you have the time to go ahead and go through the other videos. I hope you're hooked just from this one page, and I can't wait to see your excitement level for the next section. But I just want to go ahead and let you know, if you ever want to go ahead and see a live demonstration and be able to ask questions, by all means, book that demo, and we'll be more than happy to jump on a call with you and go through this all over again, very unique to what you want to see. Thank you so much for joining us. Always remember, Jesus loves you.